I don't give a fuck what you think about it. I just as well kill you today.
Hello, G fans, monster fans, or kaiju fans of any other. Gojifan1000 here to make this discussion about Legendary's Kaiju Universe and how it will develop over the years from this year, 2017, to the upcoming years such as 2020 or the dates that you see in front of you. Now, I found this post on Instagram, Facebook, and one time on Snapchat. It was this brief, little map about the Kaiju Universe, how Legendary is going to kick off their Kaiju Universe series. And at the first panel, we see Godzilla 2014, which everyone has already seen. There's Kong Skull Island, which had came out recently. And then there's the future movies. And I'm not saying that this calendar is like the actual Kaiju Universe. I'm not even sure any of these other movies are going to be made. But it says, March 22nd, 2019, Godzilla King of the Monsters, or Godzilla King of Monsters, whichever one they say. Then there's Godzilla vs. Kong, Mothra, Rodan, King Kong Escapes, Gamera, and Destroy All Monsters. And those actually sound like pretty good concepts. I highly doubt that they're gonna make a Gamera movie. We already got tricked with the last one. We thought there was gonna be a Gamera film. Turns out it was just, like a short film. We thought it was gonna be real, but Toho decided to kick us in the face with that one. Either way, we are getting some new Godzilla movies. Next year, Godzilla King of the Monsters, and maybe next year we might get another Godzilla Toho movie, a continuation from Godzilla Resurgence. But yeah, the Kaiju Universe is starting to build itself piece by piece. We already started with Godzilla. We got King Kong beefed up to his size. King Kong is still a bit small now, but by 2020 he'll be about Godzilla's size, and we'll finally get the clash of the two beings. But there's also other topics I wanted to talk about. Legendary's Pacific Rim, or Pacific Rim 2, or Pacific Rim Uprising, the movie starring John Boyega's character. But I think we might get a crossover between the Godzilla universe and the Pacific Rim universe, and I really want that to happen. And I'm also thinking that maybe if they get the rights to one more Toho monster, they could probably incorporate Jet Jaguar into Pacific Rim 2 Uprising. I really want to see that. I really want to see Jet Jaguar appear in a Legendary Kaiju film. Because, I don't know, it's like a dream come true for me. Other news, Pacific Rim 2 may be coming out this year or the next year. Or even though, I don't know. But still, next year we're gonna get a lot of kaiju action. I'm just based on what I've seen here. Other than that, it's just basically news about what's going on. Other than the kaiju news, I have some great news. I finally hit 100 subscribers, 101 subscribers to be specific. And it's all thanks to you guys. Thank you for all your support, watching my videos, leaving comments and likes. It's all thanks to you guys, and I really appreciate that. Love you guys. No homo. Furthermore, I want to also touch up on the Kong Skull Island post-credit scene. I did make a discussion video for that, but I wanted to address what kind of things I actually saw in the trailer, and the images you see in front of you in the video, I know they're not the images from Kong Skull Island, but just listen to what I have to say. When I was looking at the post-credit scenes, all these cave drawings of Godzilla, Mothra, Rodan, and King Ghidorah, I noticed that King Ghidorah is twice as big as Godzilla, so he's gonna be a giant monster. And I also noticed that Mothra, there was a couple of people in the background. I don't know if you can see it or not, but it looks like a bunch of people worshiping her, like a god, similar to like what's it called? It was from that Godzilla vs. the Sea Monster movie. How people worshipped Mothra and they wanted her to take her off the island where everyone's keeping them. The other thing I saw was that Rodan, it looked like he was shooting fire, but I'm not sure Legendary owns the rights to Fire Rodan, the one that can actually shoot a beam out of his mouth. And so I guess it was just like a gust of wind or something. But Rodan is the horn in the back of his head. It looks like there's gonna be one horn instead of two or three, like the other kaiju movies. On the cave drawing of Godzilla fighting Ghidorah, it looks like a bunch of skulls and skeletons or something. It may have been from like the beginning year, like, you know, before man was created. And I think that the Godzilla that fought Ghidorah on that cave drawing was the one that was dead in the beginning of Godzilla 2014. The one that was infected with the Muto parasite. Because that skeleton was pretty big. I'm not saying it was the same size as the Godzilla we saw then, but we do know that there was more than one Godzilla back then. You know, like a prehistoric age, and King Ghidorah must have been a predator or something. Or just, you know, an antagonist to Godzilla's species, just walking upon his turf. Which gives us a little neat story, you know, a little origin of Godzilla. On to my next topic, there's this movie starring Anne Hathaway called Colossal. At first, I saw a couple of teasers where it had Godzilla in it and this other robot. I don't know his name, but I know the show that he was from, the anime and the manga that he was from. It looked pretty cool, and I thought that was gonna be spectacular. It turns out they got some copyright issues, they got sued or something, and then they decided to, you know, just make an original monster. I don't know what the monster's name is, but as this is the one you see in front of you. I like its design, I guess. It reminds me sort of like a Groot-like character. It looks like Groot from Guardians of the Galaxy. Just look at him. This is just like him. But, like, you know, the plot in terms of like what I've seen in the trailer is that this lady, Anne Hathaway plays, is psychically connected to this monster. And what she does, the monster does at night. So like as you can see the image, she's scratching her head. Then when it gets later at night, when the monster's attacking the city, he's scratching his head. But when he lifts her arm up, he lifts his arm up. I'm not sure if the monster's a girl or a boy. I'm just gonna call it a girl for now on. So yeah, when she lifts her arm up, the monster lifts her arm up. And yeah, it's a pretty interesting concept and I like it. I'll give a review once I see it, you know, once it comes out in theaters. And I will give a review for Godzilla King of the Monsters. And what you're seeing in front of you, this image right now, is not actually from the movie. It's actually fan art, but it looks really good. As you can see, the subtext says, people will say I'm a monster for what I've done. I really like that image, so I screenshotted it and put it in here, because it looks pretty good. I want you guys to enjoy yourselves. But now, on to my opinion. Godzilla King of the Monsters. It's gonna be bomb. That's all I gotta say about that movie. And that closes the legendary Kaiju Universe. Now on to what movies might be coming up. As you see in front of you, this was the HD test footage trailer for the Ultraman movie. And I don't really know if they're gonna make an Ultraman movie. I feel like they're gonna pull the same thing they did with that whole Gamera trailer. Like, what if it turns out this test footage was just like another short movie by Toho? I don't know, I just don't want Toho to piss their fans off and just give them a Godzilla movie to make them feel better. I want them to actually do something. I want them to have, you know, Ultraman, have Gamera, you know, the Clash of Titans, finally, or something, I don't know. It's just something that's been on my mind for a while. I've also come across, you know, deleted scenes and some footage from the Shin Gojira movie. I saw them on social media. I've also noticed that Shin Gojira is now on Blu-ray or something. At first I thought it was fake, because, you know, it looked kind of photoshopped, but it turns out it was actually real. I'm gonna buy me a copy and give a review on Shin Gojira, because if you guys must know, last time I wasn't able to see it, because when I tried to see it in theaters, when it was out from like October 15th to October 18th, I don't know, or something. It was just sold out. I was very disappointed, and I gave that whole Shin Gojira sold out review or something. Yeah, so other than that, it was, you know, it's just one giant fuck up. But yeah, other than that, I feel like the Kaiju universe is starting to build itself apart. Because at first, it was the 1954 Godzilla movie, which started the Showa franchise, and then Toho made all these other monsters like Rodan, Mogera from the Mysterians, Mothra, Varan the Unbelieved. You know, all these monsters like Frankenstein and Baragon, and they're starting to build their universe piece by piece. Because at first we saw that after the Showa series, Godzilla took a hiatus or something, And then there was the Heisei series, or Heishi series, and then that took a hiatus after Godzilla vs. Destroyer, which was meant to be the final Godzilla movie. Then we got the Millennium series, which wasn't really a series, more like a series of reboots after just one movie, except one movie had a sequel. It was a pretty complicated story. But, you know, after that, Godzilla Final Wars was meant to be the last Godzilla movie ever. Until, you know, America got the rights to Godzilla and made Godzilla 2014. So I feel like they're doing the Kaiju universe again. I see a certain pattern going on. Once you think Godzilla's gonna go down, it's just another hiatus until he comes back into the popularity of children's mind. And I like that, because you don't want to have, like, younger audience just, you know, looking down on old movies, even though the old movies are really great, but they want to see something they can actually see on the big screen. Just something for them to watch. That's good. But it's also good to have some nostalgia. Alright, I'm going to end the video off here. Have a good night, G-fans, and peace.